entrepreneurs are people that from time to time you have to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You must. You must risk. By the time it was the 10th of January, we had already reached the radar of the owner.
Yo.
By the time it was the 10th of January, we had worked so hard that we had actually reached the radar of the owner.
How did you handle that pressure, bro? Because now in the company there's like politics, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like this guy is 2 years old. He's a toddler.
From today moving onwards, you are a manager. Okay.
Manager in 10 days, bro.
I was a manager in 10 days. And within 24 hours, I had set up a company.
Come on.
Within 24 hours, I had set up a company. Within 48 hours, which is 2 days, right? I'm not mistaken, 48. Within 2 days, I started operating a business. This is the most important. This is more powerful than money.
Come on.
This is more powerful than money. The ability to think.
Yes, sir.
The ability to be innovative. It's more important than money. So never allow anybody to buy you out of your own idea.
Yeah. It's quite an explorative journey in terms of entrepreneurship. But one thing that I know about you that you haven't left is leading in church.
Yes.
That's been one thing that's been constant about you.
Yes.
How do you handle both? Lead a church, run a business, because both they're
demanding.
They're both demanding. How do you balance the two? What I like is this. It wasn't just a company set up.
Yes.
There was actual work that was starting to happen. It wasn't just register a business. There are so many businesses registered with CIPC, but not operational.
Yes.
And I like that you were just hard on executing, man.
I was very hard on executing. And you must remember this thing about CIPC, especially for us, entrepreneurs. You registered a company in 2018. Trading as.
Yes.
So I came back with one of my old registration number. Now I'm trading as something else.
Sure.
And I can trade as,
wow,
whatever I want to trade as, So I just within 48 hours I had started a company that I'm making an irrational decision because I'm comfortable. People that are working for me. The company is stable. I'm making a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
Like I was making a lot of money. I won't disclose it, but I think I told you the other day.
Yeah.
I was making a lot of money. I was comfortable.
Sure.
Right? My house was almost complete. Right? Because I started building my house. So my house was almost complete. But now I make a stupid decision to leave comfort, to leave work, go and venture on my own. Something that I was introduced to for the first time in my life around 2 years ago. We are going to say the life of an entrepreneur will never make sense to someone who's watching, who's observing. How? So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to my wife that she did not say, "Bo, what if this thing does not work out?"
100%.
But she believed in the entrepreneur in me and the leader in me that I'm leading the family towards the right direction.
Come on,
you see. So so then we left and we started operating, and unfortunately, within the first deal that we did, I'll just tell you this. The first deal that we did, the client was here. The client was about to sign. And the people which I used to work for actually called the client and tried to sabotage the deal. And they blocked the deal from the system. Because remember now, it's a common system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the systems, the motor car industry systems are common. But then we maneuvered. We worked around it. We did something, and ultimately, even though the client did not get the vehicle same day, but the client got the vehicle the following day.
Come on.
Yeah, the client got the vehicle the following day. And so there'll always be challenges along the way. It's part of life. But it's your mental, it's your mindset that determines what you do with those challenges.
Come on.
So we then started operating, and unfortunately, I created a website, and we had offices and blah blah blah. And one of those phone calls that I made was to partner with a certain individual, right? So we were partnering with this certain individual, but the individual was coming in as an investor, right? So the individual has got no understanding of the industry whatsoever. They're doing something different, and they're successful in what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
So he came in as an investor, and we came in with the manpower, with the expertise, with the clientele, with the team of salespeople. Remember when I left there are salespeople that I made. I make salespeople. I can take anybody from the street and make that person a salesperson, make that person successful. You see? So those people, obviously, they I didn't get them there, but I made them.
Yeah.
You see? So when you treat people good, you treat people with respect, you treat people with loyalty, and you are transparent, and you don't cheat people.
Sure.
People will always follow you to where you go.
Come on.
People are loyal to a person that does not cheat them, person that is open to them. So because I was open and transparent and never cheated the people, where I went to, they said, Lauya Kona, that's where we're going to go. So they came.
Wow.
And they worked for me.
Wow.
You see? And then...
Thank you so much for tuning into the conversation. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I do. I've got 2 announcements. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe, like, share, comment, etc. Tell your friend to tell your friend to tell your friend, so that you can make an impact in the world. Number 2, All Things Leadership Podcast is partnering with ZAR Motor Group. ZAR Motor Group is a brilliant car dealership. It's going to help you when you want to finance your new car and when you want to trade in, etc. Everything car. So hit the link in the description below for you to be hooked up, and also don't forget to put in ATLP on the reference so that we know that you got connected from this amazing podcast. Let's get back to the conversation. Danko.
And then so unfortunately then we had to, the investor and us, we then split. We broke after a couple of months. The reason for the break was that I came with a concept, I came with an idea. I'm an entrepreneur, right? And the investor now says, okay, let's formalize everything now. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's formalize. Then the investor says, so since we are formalizing everything now, I will take 70% of the company, and you will take 30% of the company, because I'm bringing the money. You bringing the workmanship, I'm bringing the money. So I give you 70%. I'll take 70%. Then you take 30. I was like, this looks like an arrangement where I'm working for this man.
Yeah.
I said, no, my guy, I don't need your money.
Yeah.
I've got the brains.
Yeah.
This is the most important. This is more powerful than money.
Come on.
This is more powerful than money. The ability to think.
Yes, sir.
The ability to be innovative. It's more important than money. So never allow anybody to buy you out of your own idea.
Yeah.
You see? So I said, keep your money. It's fine. I'll make a way out of nowhere.
Had you saved up enough money to be able to sustain yourself at this time? Was it something that you had expected to happen at that particular time?
No, I didn't.
Did it come to you as a surprise?
It was a surprise because this you don't go into a partnership with someone you don't trust. This is somebody whom we trusted. This is somebody who never even for a day showed an element of greed.
Yes, sir.
it was just a cool person, this was a cool person, but unfortunately, money is money. Yabo. So I had not saved up. When we separated with him, I didn't know how I was going to get cars because his job was to pay for the cars. I didn't know how I was going to get cars. All I had was a system, right? A system that which we use to actually liaise with the banks as we are asking the banks to finance people. All I had was a system. I didn't have the money to buy. So then now, obviously now my business model had to be tweaked, to be changed a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what happens in entrepreneurship. Sometimes you've got the most brilliant idea, but you have to tweak it kancane. Until it yields forth the results that are needed. Because this is uncharted ground.
Come on.
I mean, I was there for a couple of years, and there is no black guy that I know that did what I did.
100%.
Again, all are comfortable with that life of comfort.
Sure.
So at that point in time, when we split with this man, I didn't have anything to fall back on. At the end of the month, still I need to man up. I need to do right. So to cut the long story short, a way was made.
Yeah.
Because I've got contacts. Because I build relationships.
Yo.
So when you build a relationship,
yeah,
you are doing yourself a favor. When you do good to people, when you are kind towards people, you are actually doing yourself a favor.
Yo, bro.
So all those relationships, they made a way for me to be where I am today.
That's amazing, bro. So I see it's quite an explorative journey in terms of entrepreneurship. But one thing that I know about you that you haven't left is leading in church.
Yes.
That's been one thing that's been constant about you.
Yes.
How do you handle both? Lead a church, run a business, because both they're
demanding.
They're both demanding. How do you balance the two?
Okay, so the balance for me is you see, I don't perceive the church part as a job, but I perceive that part as me.
Yeah.
That is me. It's part of who I am.
100%.
Now that you've mentioned the church part, look, uthi uJesu, right? Uthi come, I will make you fishers of men.
Yes, sir.
So my belief is that I'm an entrepreneur, but before I'm an entrepreneur, I am a fisher of men.
Sure.
So that is the primary thing. That is why it shall forever be constant. It shall never change. Because that is the primary thing. I am an entrepreneur, but before that, I'm a fisher of men. Sure. So that part it's me. It's who I am. It's the air that I breathe.
Yeah.
So it never feels burdensome. It never feels like, another one said to me on WhatsApp, Mfundisi, I know that you are busy, but please, when you get time, please, can you please answer this? They had questions on scripture. And I said to them, look, I will never run out of time. Off is Nuzangungu.
Sure.
So that for me, it's my life.
But how did that conviction come about for you to prioritize uNkulunkulu? Was there a time when he wasn't a priority, and how was the transition for you?
I think a lot of people might answer that question differently from me.
I just want your perspective.
Okay. So my perspective is, it goes back to the leadership thing. The Bible says that you must train a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will never depart from that way. So I was brought up like that.
Amazing.
I grew up. My dad was an ordained pastor in 1992. So you can imagine when I was growing up, I'm growing up in front of a man of God. I'm growing up as a pastor's, as a PK, a pastor's kid. So church, God has just always been part of my life.
Yes, sir.
It's something. It's just part of me. However, as much as that is the case, it was around 2010, 2011, while I was here in KZN, where I met a certain man of God. As much as I was as much as I was raised Christian and I loved God and I did everything for, but that particular man instilled or coined in me through teaching the importance of prioritizing God.
Sure.
You see, so it was around 2010, 2011 where I was really taught, Uguti, God is a priority and everything else comes after God.
Yeah.
You see, so I learned that around 2010, 2011, and yeah, ever since then I've never thought of it otherwise.
Wow.
God comes first, and everything else follows.
Yeah.
You know, I normally tell them, Abazalwane enkonzweni, get me now. Bazalwane, I used to go to France, and I never even had 50 rands of transport.
Yes, sir.
Right, and I would actually, by grace, somebody gives me 50 rand so that I can go and conduct a Bible study. I would walk from A18, right? I would walk from A18, go past 15, and go to France, walking. I would move from France. I remember another day I walked from France. I went to town, walking. Didn't get a kumbi. I'm a kumbi sepelile. Then I had to walk from town, and I went back to A18.
Sure.
I arrived at around 1 a.m. So I remember one day as I was walking, somebody came behind with a gun, and they took my cell phone, they took everything. I was on the way to teaching people the word of God.
Sure.
So I always tell them this. Today I've got everything. My pastor used to say, whether fuel nyugile, sinkwas nyugile, petrol, blah 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 blah. He used to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
When I get to the filling station, I just say full tank.
Come on.
So that is the kind of life that I'm living now. I'm living a life whereby if I don't have something, that means I don't want it.
Sure.
It means I don't want it. But anything that I want, I have it. And I know where I'm coming from with God.
Come on.
Even if I can lose the cars, the money, the whatever, even if I can lose all that, but God is enough.
Yeah.
He's more than enough.
Come on.
You know, so all these glamorous things and all these things that people, they are nothing compared to the excellency of the knowledge of God. Even being an entrepreneur comes secondary to the excellency of the knowledge of God. So that's just how I live my life. God first, then everything, then the rest follows.
Sure. Yo, it's fire, bro. And bro, so you lead the Loving Church, eh?
Yes, the Loving Church. It's called Ahava Mo, aka the Loving Church. So Ahava basically means love.
Yes.
That's the Hebrew for love, the unconditional love of God. So Ahava Mo, there was a burden in my heart, right, that the Abantu, they need love more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
The Bible says that love encompasses a multitude of sins. You see? The Bible says, so for God so loved the world that he gave. So I believe that there's so many people that will be won to the kingdom of God through what? Through love. So my life mission is to show people more of God's love. So that's why we are Ahava, aka the Loving Church.
Sure.
So we are just a safe space of love. We are there to love God and to love each other.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's where the idea behind the name or the inspiration behind the name.
Yo, that's cool. And if anyone wants to purchase a vehicle right now, can they just hop on your website and make the podcast the reference?
Definitely. Look, if you want to buy a car, look at me, right? When you you want to buy a car, right? You are at the right place. It's the right time, and it is simple. We will make you buying a car a very simple exercise, right? We will ensure that we get you the best interest rates with banks, right? So an interest rate is actually what determines how much installment you pay. The higher the interest rate, the higher the installment. The lower the interest rate, the lower the installment. So you need a middleman. You need somebody who's going to negotiate on your behalf with the banks.
But you know what we fear?
What is the fear?
The fear is the balloon, bruh.
Oh, okay.
It's the balloon payment. It's like, I'm going to pay this installment for all these years. And then at the end, the balloon's going to pop and I'm going to have to pay this hefty amount. And how do people navigate through that?
Okay, look, the balloon payment has got advantages and disadvantages.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is one of our strengths, Nhlaka. A lot of people which we've helped, they always say, yo, I didn't know about this. Because we pride ourselves in being honest. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And in being transparent. So this is how the balloon payment works, right? Let's say you are buying a car for 200,000 rand, right? Car 200,000 rand, installment, let's say the installment is 4,000 rand. You say, no, this is a bit expensive for me. I can afford 3.2, right? We will then say, okay, now consider a balloon payment. The objective of a balloon payment is to lower your installment, right? Mm-hmm. So we put a 30% balloon, for an example. 30% of what? 30% of the 200,000, 30% of the cash price. Mm-hmm. So 30% of 200,000, I believe it's around 60K, mm-hmm. right? So now that 60K, we put it aside, right? We say, we will deal with you. So when you are taking a balloon payment, you are taking a portion of your car's cash price, you are putting it aside, you're saying, I'll see you after 6 years, right? Now, we took 60K from 200K, we are left with 140K. Mm-hmm. So now, the installment that you're going to get now, it is as though your car is 140,000. Now you're no longer going to pay the 4,000 rands for 200,000. Now you're going to be paying, let's say, 3,000 rands, because now the installment is for a car that is 160,000 rands. Mm-hmm. Right? Then 6 years down the line, you, by that 3,000 rand, you have finished the 140, mm-hmm. right? Now 6 years down the line, now remember phela anganuthe when we ahluleka uyikhokha iphelele wase wayipaka hamba ke manje uyodila naloko okupakile
using the same amount of money that you were paying as an installment, maybe.
Now, yes, mm-hmm. definitely. Now, this is what the bank will do, right? The bank will send you an email. Say, congratulations, Mr. Nhlaka, Mr. Hadebe, you have finished paying for your car, but now you still have a balloon payment. They said, settle the balloon payment in 7 days, or if you don't settle the balloon payment in 7 days, then what will then happen is that you will continue paying an installment of X amount over 12 months or over 18 months. So most of the time, it's over 12 months or 18 months. It's never longer than that.
Sure.
So that X amount that they will give you, it is most of the time, right? Most of the time, it is just a little bit less than what you were paying. 100%. So let's say you were paying 3,000, right? Because you took the balloon. Now you're going to be paying, let's say they say 2.8 for the next 12 months. So that 2.8 is going to be dealing with that 60K, that which you put aside. Because ngenkathi uthenga, by the time when you were buying, right? You did not afford to pay, the full amount.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now, the balloon payment, we coca samba as a lump sum, right? Or you will pay the balloon payment via installments. So once you finish the installments, then obviously now the logbook. A logbook is like a certificate of ownership. After, with us, other people you will wait 21 days, 2 weeks to get your logbook.
Yes.
With us, you buy a car today, in 2 days' time, your logbook is with you.
Sure.
It is a certificate of ownership, right? It will have Mr. Hadebe Nhlaka, your ID number, the type of vehicle, the year model of the vehicle, and so forth. Then it will have, let's say for argument's sake, MFC or Netbank. Sorry, MFC is Netbank. They'll have MFC or West Bank, which is FNB or Capitec or whatever bank that financed you.
Yeah.
Or ABSA.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then it will have your name as well as the bank's name.
Yes, sir.
Then I give you that. When I give you that, you go to licensing, it's your car.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, after 6 years, if you did not have that balloon payment, you opted to pay the entire 4,000 rands. Once you've completed deal, you will then receive a call from the bank. They will say, Mr. Nhlaka, thank you so much. You have successfully finished your car. Where can we send through the original logbook as well as the documents of change of ownership? Yes. Then you will give them, my nearest ABSA is blah blah blah, right, or my address. Then Bazo sendela a document. In that envelope, you're gonna find the original logbook. Remember, when you buy a car via finance, it's not your car; it is the bank's car, right? You are just incorporated.
Yes,
but
sir. Yes, sir.
So now, kuzoza original logbook. The original logbook is what the bank had and has always had. Yeah. What I give you after 2 days, it's a copy of the logbook. It's not the original.
Yeah.
Then in that envelope, you'll find the original logbook. You'll find an ID of a person you don't know.
Yeah.
The proxy of the bank.
Yeah.
And the bank has to register the car in a certain individual's name because the bank is not a person. So there is a person, you'll find a person's ID in there. You'll find a change of ownership forms, signed, everything by the bank.
Yes, sir.
Right? You take that, you go to licensing with your ID, Baba, you fill the bit, but within no time, you've got now the original logbook. Now the car belongs to you 100%. If you did not take the balloon payment after 6 years.
Sure.
But if you took the balloon payment, that means you'll just have to wait like 12 more months in order for you to get the logbook. However, it's all on it's based on your budget in the because you can finance over a year, you can finance over 2 years, you can finance over 3 years, you can finance over 4 years, you can finance over 6 years.
Wow.
You can even finance over 96 months.
Wow.
It's all about your budget and how much you want to pay.
That's amazing.
There's something that is very important that I wanted to mention. Let's say, for an example, you took the balloon payment, but now after 2 years you trade in the car. That is to say, you know what, I've upgraded in life now. I want a bigger car, I want a nicer car.
Yeah.
What will then happen is that you come back to us. We will then go to the bank that financed you and say, okay, how much is this car owing, the old car? They'll say, maybe they say it's owing 150K, right? We will then take 150K, buy that car from the bank and relieve you of that debt so that we can give you a new car. So when we do that, you don't have to worry about the balloon payment because when we ask for the settlement is inclusive of the balloon payment. So one of the ways to run away from paying that balloon payment as a lump sum or via AMA installments is for you to actually trade in the car.
Wow.
So other people will trade in a car after like 2.5 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Because, it depends, Gumund. Because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that a car is not an asset, it's a liability. So other people, they like to just roll, keep it rolling, change the car. Because you must remember, after some time, the car might start giving you issues,
100%.
loses warranty, now also a kokela service and all those things. So other people, after 3 years or so, they then change the car. When you change the car, you don't worry about the balloon payment. We worry about that.
Let me ask you, A second to last question.
Okay.
You know, in South Africa, there are these Chinese cars that are flooding in.
Okay.
Your Omodas, your J-Coup, your Cherries,
Your jet tours and so forth.
Hey,
Your Havals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been a country that has been primarily selling your Toyotas, your BMW, Mercedes, and stuff like
your
that.
VWs and so forth.
Yes. What are your thoughts about these new cars in the market?
Remembering that a car is not an asset, it's a liability, right? These new cars that are coming into the market, the technology is wow, right? But beyond technology, we go to reliability. How reliable? Reliable, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We go to how. Why am I twisting this word in my head? Say that
Twist
again.
it.
How reliable?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
there we go. How reliable the car is, right? So now, being reliable is a matter of a test of time.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So right now, as these cars are influxing South Africa, and these cars are beautiful, the truth of the matter is that we don't really know how reliable they are. So they just have to stand the test of time. Even as Toyota did, even as all these other cars have done. So the cars are beautiful. The cars are less expensive. I mean, you can today drive a car with the same feels, even better technology as a Mac at a fraction of the price. So how I would advise clients around such cars is that don't buy it as a second hand. Rather buy it as a brand new. That's the first advice I'd give to somebody. If the car has not yet stood the test of time, don't buy it as a second hand. Rather buy it as a brand new.
Yes, sir.
Then, secondly, ensure that the car has got a service plan. Ensure that the car has got a warranty plan. Ensure that the car has got a maintenance plan.
Sure.
Even though a maintenance plan is not, is not out of paramount importance. But make sure the car's got a service plan. Make sure the car's got a warranty. Make sure that the car has got a maintenance plan. In that way, you are safe. Because if anything happens to the car, they will actually take care of it.
Yes,
the manufacturers.
Yes.
Right? When you go to service the car, they will service it for you. You're not paying anything.
Wow.
If trying to pull up the windows, then stuck up, manufacturer will take care of that. If the engine gives a problem, if the gearbox gives a problem, whatever mechanical issue, the manufacturer will take care of that. So it's important for you when you are buying a car to ask, okay, what is the warranty? What are the terms and conditions of the warranty?
Yes, sir.
For an example, a term and condition of a warranty will say, we will give you 200,000 mileage or 4 years. Whichever one gets first, you lose the warranty. So that means for the first 200,000 mileage, you are sorted. If anything happens to the car, you are sorted. Or for the first 4 years. But if you do 200,000 before 4 years, then you've lost the warranty, right? If you do 4 years, but you haven't reached 200,000, you lose the warranty. So that's where now the trading in thing comes in. 100%. Where now you say, okay, I have bought a car that has not yet stood the test of time. We are not 100% sure of this car's reliability, but the car is beautiful. The technology is great. I love it. It feels good. Buy the car, but trade in the car when the car hits, that threshold. After this, you are on your own. Because that's what a warranty is.
100%.
A warranty is saying, after this, you're on your own.
Sure.
You don't want to be on your own with a Chinese car. Now you're ordering a part. It's going to take 6 months to get to South Africa. There's no parts.
Now you're living apart from your car.
Now you're living, there's no parts, you're living apart from your car. That is a good one. So basically those are that's the advice that I'd give to anybody.
Yes, sir.
Do buy the car, because why must you pay 17,300. Where else you can pay 10,000 for something with the same feel?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
So I'd say let's go for these cars. They are beautiful. The technology is great, but let us be cautious.
Yeah.
When we are buying them, and let us be cautious not to buy used or second-hand ones, because
Wow.
we don't know the future. Maybe in the next 10 years, then
That's
we will know
powerful,
what's
bro.
happening.
So I want us to make a reference for all our viewers.
Okay. Yes.
On what when they fill up your form.
Okay.
They make all things leadership.
The reference. Okay.
What do they need to?
Okay. So what will happen is that I'm sure Mr. Hadebe Nhlaka will probably just put something beautiful there and show us the website.
Yeah.
So immediately when you get to the website, right? What you
so
do,
I'm actually sorry.
Yes,
I'm actually gonna put in a link to his website on the description below.
Beautiful. So what you do, click on that link, right? After clicking on that link, you will be taken to our homepage, right? You can just go through the homepage if you want to, but just click apply now. When you click on apply now, it'll ask for your name, your surname, what car, 2 options of the cars that you want, your address, where you're working, your gross, your net salary, and so forth and so forth. Just around 10 to 20, 12 questions. Now, towards the end, it will say referred by. Then you will determine how he wants our viewers, our followers, our subscribers. Maybe they will go ATLP. Can say ATLP, referred by ATLP, right? Then when you press send, it will then automatically come into our back office, right? And the application form will be received from our side. So immediately when we do that, then we know, this is a leader. A leader has just applied.
Come on.
Then we will then know that, okay, this is somebody that heard about us through this beautiful podcast.
So what's the name of your business?
The name of the business is, we call it ZMG, Za Motor Group. Uza Lowe Ching Ching.
Yeah.
ZAR Motor Group. So the name of our business is Za Motor Group. So you just right there, ATLP, send. We will with immediate effect know that this is a leader from this podcast.
Yo, that is so cool, bruh. And if people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you?
Okay. The business side or the
any
side?
Any side, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the business side, obviously, you can drop us an email, right? I think Nhlaka will also just maybe make that available. My personal email is lm@zamotorgroup.co.za. LM.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right, and then we've also got info@zamotorgroup.co.za. Right, and then I've got my number, that which I use for Zamotor Group, which is 061 522 8617. I'll repeat that, 061 522 8617. So if you do happen to give me a call or an SMS or whatever, the first thing that which I will ask from you is, how did you know about Zamotor Group? And you just have to say all things leadership, because that is the most important thing for us to know as to how you knew about us. And then Nhlaka, can I also drop our WhatsApp number?
For sure.
Right, our WhatsApp number for Zamotor Group, it is 082, right, 358 082 358 9474. So you can just drop us a message on our what do you call this thing, on our WhatsApp. And then we will respond to you promptly.
Sir.
We will ask you, how did you know about us? You just say all things leadership podcast,
Yes, sir.
then we will be able to attend to you. We will give you the best advice. We will ensure that you get the best service ever.
So do you sell every car brand?
Baba, I can sell you a Ferrari. I can sell you a Rolls Royce.
Okay.
I can sell you a Polo Vivo. I can sell you a Hyundai i10. I can sell you an Everest. I can sell you a Mac. I can even order a car overseas for you.
Yo.
There is no car that we do not sell.
Sure.
From the smallest cars to the biggest cars.
Yeah.
The biggest cars to the smallest cars. And everything in between.
Yo.
So we are not confound to a certain brand. But we sell all cars.
That's so helpful, bro.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What a lovely interview. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. If you have questions for Mr. Monaheng, please feel free to write them on the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend. What a fire episode. Can't wait to speak to you on the next episode. Keep hustling, keep moving. We love you. Dango.